Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. On Days of Our Lives, we believed Holly might have magically relieved her mother's suffering. However, it appears that path is cut off now that the DNA test has persuaded everyone that little Ju is not Nicole and EJ's. We also considered the possibility that Sloane's kindness would overtake her and cause her to feel guilty enough for her to give up the ghost on her own. That seems as implausible as it gets now, given how anxious she was to halt the DNA test, even though an unaware Eric called her out on her worry. Now, it might all boil down to Leo. That's not that outrageous. Heck, in the first Beyond Salem, he replaced the Alamanian peacock's real emerald with a fake, saving the entire world. Perhaps he will be the one to act morally toward Nicole's child. Leo is now certain that neither he nor Dimitri are intended killers, following Dimitri's admission that Nicole's baby is still alive. Alright, so perhaps Dimitri is still. But this death was not his fault. And Leo will discover the final piece of the puzzle, that Sloane is actually Nicole and EJ's baby mother and is passing him off as her own, after visiting Dimitri in jail at the conclusion of this week. However, Leo's cunning side begins to show itself, and he uses it to keep Sloane exerting all of her effort to support Leo and Dimitri. She could really help Dimitri, which is top on Leo's priority list in particular. Leo is a cad, yet he's not a bad guy. While Dimitri has no trouble recommending that they blackmail Sloane, Leo finds himself feeling sorry for the bereaved parents. Leo genuinely cares about Nicole, Ricard emphasized. When he assisted in the birth of tiny Jude, he bonded with the baby, but also her. That's all well and good, but Leo will be no better than everyone else if he does nothing, Ricard told Digest. Leo's MO is to cause trouble. But he's not a nasty guy in and of himself. For him, this trend truly goes too far. Now the crucial question is, if telling Nicole meant losing Dimitri, would he do it? Probably not just now. But Sloane will be as good as toast if he can find a way to help the love of his life and do the right thing at the same time. The Wednesday, December 6 spoilers for Days of Our Lives indicate that Wendy Shin sobbed when she got home from Hong Kong because she found it so difficult to endure Li Shin's memorial service. Wendy found solace in Gabby Hernandez de Mira's imprisonment, but she couldn't say Lai was genuinely vindicated until there was a conviction. Wendy was appreciative of Trip Johnson's assistance since he diverted her attention with a game of poker before attending to her demands in the bedroom. Ava Vitali joked that their entire love future hinged on their first date going well, while Harris Michaels prepared a special seafood pasta dish for her at the bistro on Wednesday's episode of Days. Ava gave her blessing to the pasta, but Harris dampened the moment a little by bringing up work and criticizing himself for losing the keys. Ava sought to maintain her composure despite the secrets she was holding, especially in light of Harris' plans to take down the new drug organization in town. Harris played some music and gave Ava a dance, which helped them eventually get their evening back on track. She responded with a big kiss to Harris' question about whether they would go on another date. Jada Hunter discussed the notion that she was to blame for the room being missing with Rafe Hernandez during Wednesday's DOOL episode at the Salem Police Department. Although Jada couldn't be certain, she felt she locked the door after seeing the drug cache when she was in the evidence room. Rafe brought up the fact that Harris misplaced his keys at the same time, and that he still believed they might have been used to break in. Rafe and Jada were chastised by Paulina Price for allowing evidence to vanish, particularly since it resulted in the drug dealer's release. Rafe gave Paulina confidence that he would take down the new drug cartel, if any, but Paulina was unhappy because she had wanted to speak with the guy's boss. Later, on an episode of Wednesday's Days, Rafe assisted Jada in decorating a little Christmas tree at her home. After striking each other, Rafe finally expressed his love for Jada, and Jada eventually acknowledged her love for him as well. Gwen von Leishner told him she had recently sold her part of The Spectator over the phone while he was in Everett Lynch's suite, but she wouldn't tell who had purchased it. When Stephanie Johnson arrived, Everett informed her of the latest developments. Since the sale needed to be public information, they made the decision to research the topic online and call a few people. Eventually, Everett discovered that Flynn Industries was the driving force behind the acquisition. But since he could not get any further information about the business, he assumed it was a shell. Uncle Shane Donovan promised to email Stephanie the identity of the individual connected to the transaction and this company when Stephanie called and asked him to look into this as a favor. An awkward hug ensued as Everett thanked Stephanie for her assistance, and then his laptop beeped with an email message. Everett attempted to conceal the information he had been given, but Stephanie gave her the go-ahead to ask Shane over the phone. On Wednesday's episode of Days, Everett gave in and became enraged upon realizing that Chad was the one behind it all. In a single instant, Everett exuded confidence and optimism, suggesting that Chad might not have been the man Stephanie had assumed him to be. Chad overheard Stephen murmuring in the town square about that bastard and his evil schemes. Though Chad assumed Stephen wasn't truly plotting EJ's terrible fate, he still believed Stephen was referring to EJ Demira. Stephen agreed, implying that he was upset with EJ for locking Gabby up, but Chad countered that the evidence was overwhelming. At last, Stephen declared that his only concern was for Gabby, who had been thrown in Statesville the previous time and battered to the point of near death. Flashing back to his phone conversation with Gwen, Chad realized what it was like to take extreme measures for someone they loved. When Stephen questioned Chad about his extreme actions, he only brought up his near-complete erasure of Clyde Weston from the map. Stephen's desire that Chad had really killed Clyde perplexed Chad because it seemed so personal. Stephen pretended to be concerned about Abigail Demira and to wish for Clyde to stop hurting others. Chad stated they could both agree that Clyde should be burning in hell once Stephen insisted on it. After the proprietor passed away unexpectedly, Stephen informed Chad that the bistro was closed and he should get takeaway. Stephen said that since he purchased it, it wouldn't be closed down forever when Chad expressed his hope that it wouldn't. Stephen appeared as though he needed the diversion, but Chad found that strange because Stephen had recently taken over Demira Enterprises and had a wife incarcerated. After Vivian Alamain gave Stephen a call back, she declined to give Ivan Marais the order to remove Clyde. Vivian pretended that Stephen should just move on from Gabby and forget about the danger Stephen was trying to warn her about, along with his drug-dealing predicament. Stephen hung up angrily, but he was still determined to stop Clyde. Stephanie found Chad back with her, and she discovered he was about to text her, inquiring as to what Chad wished to email her about. Stephanie also inquired whether he would inform her that he had secretly purchased half of The Spectator in order to dismiss Everett. Days of Our Lives spoilers indicate that Chad will soon have some explaining to do because he appeared guilty when Stephanie confronted him. Thanks for watching if you liked this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.